quick recap for us on the Queens game. What a dominant... Oh, my mouse is on. What a dominant performance by the Boilermakers, coming away with a 104-71 victory. I believe that's a 31 point difference. Just an overall great game for the boys. It did start off a little slow, in my opinion. Obviously, the weight of Braden chasing this record was on everybody's shoulders. Obviously, everybody came into that game knowing what was on the line, knowing what was there. He gets interviewed. He says that he wasn't worried about it because he was more focused on winning the game. I do believe that, but I do think it affected the people around him at the start of the game. He does end up getting it, becoming having the most all-time assists in NCAA history, currently at 1,083, I believe it is, and climbing to pass Bobby Hurley of Duke, who had 1,076 or 75. What an accomplishment for our guy Braden. So happy for him to get that. Going into the season, that was a big goal of his. Obviously we want to win, but that was something that he wanted to come away with, and it's just so awesome for us as Boilermaker fans to have one of our own be the holder of something so awesome like that. So with that's just awesome for us to see Braden do that. But as the game as a whole, he was much more than just a passer, and just much more than just getting that record. He has 8 assists in the game, but he also has 3 rebounds and goes off for 26 points, 10 of 15, 4 for 6 behind the arc. What I said in the preview, I needed to see Braden have a scoring game, and that's exactly what he gave us, and it was efficient too. Good to see, because now he's got that confidence. Now he can, he's seen the ball go in the basket. He had been struggling behind the arc for a little while. Just awesome to see that for Braden. Not only to break the record, but on top of it, have a master game like that. And Trey follows that up with 25 points in 25 minutes, 12 of 18, 1 for 3 from the free throw line. Would like to see him make at least 2 of them, I guess. Almost a double-double with 9 rebounds and 3 assists, 0 turnovers. All 3 of his rebounds being rebounds being offensive rebounds. We out-rebounded them 41-19, dominated the glass. That is not, that's something that I said needed to happen, but not too much of a surprise, being the fact that we outmatched them size-wise quite a bit. But a great game from Trey. I thought he was very patient. He just did a good job of being around the basket and making the right play. He has 3 assists, so he also plays as a playmaker. But scoring-wise, I just thought he did a great job of just being smart and, using his touch around the rim to get going. A lot of the short roll action that went on. We also had Clough. I thought it was an amazing game from Clough, and it's not even like one of his high-scoring games that he's had these past 6 games. He had 9 points in 22 minutes. He's 3 for 6 from the field, so he shoots 50%, 3 for 4 from the line, but he pulls down 11 rebounds, 5 assists. He does have 3 turnovers, but he gets that fast break steal, draws the foul there. And then on top of it, he has 4 blocks. And again, I know these guys are undersized compared to, Miami as we're about to play them. But Clough did a great job of being in the right spot, continued his dominance on the boards, which for us to go far in this tournament has to continue. He just has been, rushing to the right spot, reading it off the glass, and just doing a great job of being where he's supposed to be, and being that force that we need him to be. Overall for Trey, I thought it was an A+ game, for Braden, and I gotta say an A+ game for Clough as well. Again, the opponent makes a difference, but um, for just their overall performance, they did what they were supposed to do. And then CJ tacks on 11, going 3 for 4 from behind the arc. He goes 2 for 3 at the free throw line. I believe he got fouled on. Yeah, he got fouled on a 3. Goes 2 for 3 there, but tacks on 4 rebounds, 1 assist, and a steal. I thought CJ was good. There have been performances here recently where he's done really good on defense, and then offensively he's kind of not shown up too much. But this was a game where he played well defensively. He plays 25 minutes in this game, and he showed up offensively as well. Defensively he did exactly what we asked him to. He played strong defense, and then he knocks down some shots, which is what we need, again, to go far in this tournament and to be a threat to some of these bigger teams. We need our guys around our big 3 or 4 to step up and be these guys. So a great game from CJ as well. Overall, I just thought the team had a great game. Fletcher, I'm going to skip Fletch. 25 minutes, he's got 14 points. He's 5 for 9 behind the arc. He has 5 for 9 from the field. He goes 4 for 8 behind the arc. A good game, shoots 50%. Also tacks on 2 rebounds, an assist, and a steal. I thought Fletch was our energy guy as normal. He did a great job of, being in the right spots, cutting up top. I thought he continues to just get good looks. He knocked him down. Fletcher is ultimately going to be the guy that makes a difference in how far this team goes when he's making shots. We are such a much better team. When Fletch is making shots, this team is so much better and such more of a threat around the perimeter and just offensively in general. And I've also thought that in this stretch of games, his defense has stepped up tremendously. We know he is... he gets those moments where he's got defensive struggles. But I thought in this game, in these last few games, he has played extremely well on both ends of the floor. At least just being in the way and being in the right spot on defense. We do see Liam come in this game. He knocks down a 3, goes 1 for 1. Awesome to see that. That is my fiance's favorite player, so it was awesome to see him get in and make a shot. So... that was fun to see. I was rooting for Liam. I was excited to see that shot go down. I know transferring in, he probably thought he had a bigger role, or maybe Painter was pretty evident to him that this was what his role was going to be. But besides that, awesome to see him be able to come in and get an opportunity to make a shot and play in the NCAA tournament, as that's every kid's dream growing up as a basketball fan. Daniel comes in for 10 minutes, gets 4 points, 2 for 2, gets 4 rebounds. He also has 2 blocks. He also commits 2 turnovers. I'll give this a B game for Daniel. I thought when he came in offensively, he did a solid job. Obviously, he has those 2 dunks, and defensively, he gets those 2 blocks. Still, even more so, I think it's a little evident because it's a lower-end opponent, but still, defensive rotation is kind of off. He didn't take care of the ball with 2 turnovers. Just got to learn to be strong with the basketball when he gets it. But overall, an okay game from Daniel. Could have been a lot worse. Omer comes in for 17 minutes. He gets 9 points, 4 for 6. He's 1 for 1 behind the arc. He gets pulls down 1 rebound. He does have 3 assists to 1 turnover, but he also gets a steal as well. I thought Omer, he came in and continues to do what he does when he comes in and shows off his scoring moves, gets to that dribble pull-up. I do think that sometimes, our level of play just kind of changes when he comes in, especially if Braden's out, because he is looking to score the ball. And that's not bad, but, he's looking less to be a playmaker and more to score the ball. But I thought, he has 3 assists in this game. I thought he did a decent job of mixing in both. Jack comes in for 20 minutes. He only records 3 points. He goes 1 for 2 behind the arc. Pulls down 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. I love Jack. That's not a high-end, box score. I think Jack is such a difference maker when he comes in for us. Hustles. He is attacking the boards constantly. He's a good athlete. I think for him right now on this roster, the 4 is kind of out of position for him. That he would, I think he's a better fit at the 3. But right now, the way the roster is built, that's just where he's needed. And overall, I think he does a good job. He just goes out there being a hustle player, being in the right spot, knowing his role, and he knocks down a shot when he comes in. 19 empty minutes for Jakari, going 0 for 2 with 1 rebound, 1 assist, 2 turnovers. I did think out of anybody, if I was going to critique the most, I thought he was a little careless with the basketball. He has 2 turnovers, but there was also a few, could have been more turnovers. Got lucky on a few, just some careless passes. I think his play needs to step up. We need our role guys to be on one and to step up to go far in this tournament. And he is one. Defensively, I still think that he was holding his own, but offensively, he's really got to start to show up a little bit more. It was a decent fight from the beginning for Queens. Not much resilience after the second half. We put them away pretty quick after that. I think going into halftime, it might have been a 10-point game or something like that. But ultimately, second half, we just took over and, made things happen. So, Carson Schweiger was the guy that I talked about going in. That he's a good shooter. Their biggest guy, we hold him to 8 points. We only allowed 2 guys over double digits. Everybody else tacked on here and there. You got 8, 6, 5, 4, 9, 6, and 5. They shoot 46% from the field. A lot of that coming more so in the second half. A lot of that happened more in the first half, and then and garbage time afterwards. They go 7 of 25 from 3. We said that they are a good offense, but our defense showed up and, they played the game that they're supposed to play and forced them to take hard shots, and ultimately Queens didn't capitalize. We do have a good, efficient game for us as well, 63%, 41 for 65 from the field, and we shoot 58% from 3. We got to continue. Obviously, that's high level in play. We've got to continue that stretch the rest of this tournament. We did go 8 for 12 from the line. I'd like to see that go better, but overall game that Purdue just dominated. This level of play needs to continue through this tournament, and I'm very confident in this team, and we'll see how they perform today here in a little bit against Miami. I'm super excited to watch this game, and hopes for another dominant performance by the Boilermakers. But thanks for tuning in, and as always, go Boilermakers!